Hi guys, welcome to the maiden edition of your ultimate news and current affairs podcast, The Pulse, brought to you by Rovatel Media. I am Joshua Okata. On the program this morning, our focus would be on the upcoming PDP factional convention with regards to Wike's stand on mobilizing and, of course, urging his factional members towards cohesion. Now, the issue is about how the upcoming convention would hold successfully amid factional crises and legal battles. But of course, to have this conversation this morning with me, I'm being joined by Mr. Saheed Ajadi, who is a political affairs analyst. Hi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, now let's go deeper into our conversation. But let me first refresh your mind based on what happened sometime last year in November 15 and 16, to be precise, where a supposed national convention, headed by the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, and co. And then suddenly we saw, what we call a high court order that nullified that particular election. Now, we are told that there is an upcoming election, possibly on March this year. How does this news greet you? And of course, is this a situation of a house that is completely divided, cannot stand something?
Thank you very much for having me once more. It's a very interesting topic because I discussed it last year.
All right.
And extensively, some of us had predicted what is happening. That's why I'm laughing. PDP must crumble. PDP must go to the precipice.
Say that again.
PDP
must
crumble. And PDP is going to be a party unknown after a few years in Nigeria.
Is this a situation of being a bad carrier of?
No, it's a function of Yoruba will say "Leti afitomo irinuma wu." What does that mean in English language? The house that we built for the children, if you don't train the kid very well, the kid will leave that child and that house and go and look for another thing, or sell the house, or it becomes a place for spirits and dumping yard, whether you like it or not. You see, PDP had the chance to groom and nurture Nigeria when they were the party that is the ruling party. I was a member of PDP. I left PDP 2010. I contested Senate under PDP. The forms that I bought for the primaries, I would not buy 29 on the streets of Ibadan. And I bought they were told to buy forms for about 2 million or thereabout then. You know how much 2 million was in 2007 compared to now. There was no election. At the place where we were supposed to do the primaries, Adedubu came with his dogs, co-stars, like 4 of them, and they were after me and said I should leave the premises, the stadium, for them. The deputy governor came to meet me and said he would escort me out with his policemen and all of that. I said, I don't need all that. And you're not going to kill me here because I'm going to come back and recontest. However, whatever you want to do here is your problem. And then who sat down, the ballots were in front of him, like the 2 bottles in front of us. The ballots were there. Who is going to put the ballot inside? When his son is contesting against me. His son that was not screened, by the way, on Friday. I, Seyi Makinde, Teslim Folani, and a few others, and Akitola's son, Yomi, who were screened in LA in Ibadan. But his son was nowhere to, he was still in England, waiting for a vessel, a plane, to bring him to Nigeria. So he came in on Saturday morning when we were supposed to be doing the primaries. He was not screened. So I complained to Abuja. Abuja came on Monday. I was the only person there. Everybody has chickened out because of guns and cutlass. But I told them downstairs, because they came again, I said, you have courage? I said, yes. I'm going to complain because I'm spending my hard-earned money. It's not your money, it's not government money. So I will tell you that there was no election. And his name was written as the winner. So how can such a party stand in Nigeria? It must crumble. Because the spirit of the people that have suffered for Nigeria will not allow PDP to succeed. PDP is a waste of time of 16 years in office. Tell me what they did. They sold the properties of Nigeria. All. Sold it, sold GRA Ikeja at 1 million naira a plot. Now GRA Ikeja is going to 700, 800 or 1 billion.
All right, now let's look at the positive side of it. Should,
Of PDP.
yes, should the convention, of course, having the faction of Wike and co.
It has to be because
So my question is, what steps do you need to be, do you think needs to be taken to ensure that that convention holds? Because of course, some aggrieved parties will not be happy that a convention that they held last year has been nullified.
It's very simple.
And not only that, some of the individuals, that were supposed not to be among the, members of the party have now been told that they would stay until the convention is held. And of course, that conventions are usually where critical decisions are taken. So what's your take as regards the success of that particular convention in March this year?
They've had a convention.
Yes.
That convention, before they had it, there were a lot of going back and forth.
Yes.
There was a court that stopped that convention. Another court in Ibadan insisted that they had a jurisdiction to hold that Congress. That's a stumbling of the law in the first place. A federal high court said no before that Congress. Seyi Makinde and his court insisted that they must go ahead because there was a state high court that said they should go ahead. Come on. Judiciary. So who are we to believe? They went ahead, a faction of the party went ahead based on the pronouncement of the court in Ibadan. Obviously, you should expect the backlash that we're getting now. There's no how. As a politician, you should expect it because there is another faction that was not there. So it means that PDP did not hold, so to speak. They did not hold any Congress.
So if this...
Because if the faction of Wike is saying no, Makide's faction is saying yes, we did.
Yeah.
Come on. So who's INEC going to listen to?
So are we saying that there isn't going to be any convention in March?
Wike will insist, his group and the others will insist on doing that convention in March. But because of the law backing them, which overrides your states, it's a federal high court. You can't compare it to a state court. So the federal high court had ruled because it's about a federal issue anyway. It's about the whole country. So if they have good lawyers, they will push it to Court of Appeal and end up in the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court will not want to embarrass Nigerians further because it's an embarrassment already.
So do you think that such legal battles and factional clashes are likely to be addressed before the convention?
They will do their convention. The judiciary is slow. If there was a court of special court that handles stuff like this, it might take just 1 week to give a verdict. But it's not like that. You're going to go through the process. So there's a possibility, because we're in February now, there's a possibility that they will hold their convention before the Supreme Court gives a verdict. And so whoever the Supreme Court decides to support, that's who INEC will deal with.
All right, now let's go back to the previous convention that was held last year.
In
Ibadan. At Ibadan, where Wike was expelled. What do you think could be the reason behind the expulsion? Is it a situation of a power play or what exactly?
Is that not clear? It's very clear. The reason why he was expelled is anti a group in his party, and the group is anti him. So
is there a vested interest somewhere? What exactly?
Vested interest. Makinde is finishing his second term. Okay? Now, he cannot go and sit down at home for 4 years. No. That's not the way it's done. In politics, as soon as you finish one, you're nominated for another.
So that's more like a career politician.
Going towards that. Although he's a professional, he's an engineer. No, let's give it to him. He's an engineer. He's doing successfully in his business. However, you are here in politics now. If he decides to say, I am not the style that people think I am, I'm going back to my business, then I will respect him. But
Is that likely to
I
happen?
know he's not going to do that. So what he's going to do is this. PDP is going down. Whether you like it or not. Even if there's a new Congress, PDP is going down. If it's not yet dead. Okay? Now, he will ignore eventually. Because the state will be too hot for him to handle. Okay? He has to leave. Is either going to leave PDP or want to contest presidential election or go to House of Senate or your central. Those are the options that he has. Is either going to go to Senate under the guise of PDP, and if he realizes that PDP will not win Oyo State anymore, he'll probably come to a Accord party where we are or go to APC.
Now, the departure, most likely the departure, because some persons are saying that Wike is kind of partyless. He's neither here nor there.
Wike is in PDP.
Because
and he has written to PDP before he took the federal appointment.
Some persons are saying ever since he was expelled from the party, he seems to be running from pillar to post. So
he has not
are we saying,
where he is.
No, I'm looking at
He's still the federal minister.
I'm only saying what the polls of the people are as regards he's moving here or there. Now I'm asking a question.
Yes.
Will his departure seem to be a kind of
I beg your pardon. Departure from where now?
PDP, as it were.
It's not leaving PDP when he wants to decide to do a congress.
Because obviously one faction seem not to recognize him.
They said, they said.
So,
and that's why I said,
so will his departure seemingly weaken the influence PDP has in Rivers State?
No, he's not going to depart.
Why do you think so?
Wike will not depart PDP now because he's not ready to go and be Fubara's boy in APC.
Say that again.
Wike will not depart PDP now because he does not want to go and become Fubara's boy
Why do you
in
think
PDP.
Why do you think so?
It's common sense. I'm a politician. See, in every state, the governor is the leader. Wike was the leader in Rivers State by virtue of the fact that he was the PDP governor.
True.
Common sense. So he was the one that groomed Fubara. Now Fubara has played a fast one. He has decamped to APC. By virtue of that, the president can never go against Fubara. Mark my word. There's nothing Wike can say now. The president can make. If the president dares to go against Fubara, he's biting his own tongue with his teeth. And he won't do that. Because he needs Rivers State. And now he has Rivers State in Fubara. So all he's going to tell Wike is my brother, my son, calm down. Let's settle this issue. I've spoken with you guys before. You understand what I'm saying. Now you can see that we are in the same fold. Just calm down for him. You are still his leader. Don't be bitchy. Things will start to mellow down gradually with Wike. But Wike still has to be in control because Fubara is his boy. Even with PDP now, this is the time he's going to fight to finish. Because if he dares leave PDP now, he's going to queue.
Really?
Yes.
Queue where? What party?
Where is he going to go to?
APC?
Yes. If he goes to APC, Fubara is number one. Okay, tell me what's going to happen to him.
Some persons are also saying that if he decides to cross carpet, as it were, to the APC,
it's not now.
Possibly stands no chance of getting any sort of recognition or whatever.
Yes, and he might even lose the FCT seat because they don't need him anymore. They don't need him anymore.
So now let's.
So if Rivers State has fallen for APC, what else do we? We are only paying back what he did in 2023. And the president is very magnanimous and is a loyal father. He will not betray him. No. He won't. He will not even sack him. Some people are thinking that he's going to, no, Wike will win.
Some persons were moving that argument that is becoming so much of a nuisance.
It's not a nuisance. I beg your pardon. It's a state. Forget the fact that they gave him minister. It's a state. If it's me, I will fight to. I will fight to the finish. It's my state. So where do I go back to?
But that was not actually the mandate he was given.
No, No, the
By being
mandate is
the
that my
FCT
friend-
minister. He's
No,
been distracted.
He's doing his job. He's doing his job. They have paid. They have paid.
The other day you heard, but the other day you heard agreement is
Federal
agreement.
government has
So
given
is
him
that
money
his
to
job?
pay contractors now. He will pay contractors. That's his job. And they are doing work. He has done excellently in the FCT, so you cannot complain about his job.
So why is he going about making so much noise?
The ministers that Mr. President has, Wike is number 1 or 2, 1 to 5 in performance. I'm not a member of PDP, but I'm telling you reality. As a man, Wike is a tough guy. I like him.
But people see his kind of politics as more of winning enemies than friends.
He doesn't care about that as a person.
Really?
Yeah, he has. See, Wike has the most enemies in Nigeria now, right now. Do you know that? He doesn't care.
So how? So
He's
are you saying
interested.
the idea of trying to galvanize people together towards the convention is not there on the table?
He has galvanized already. If he decides to destroy Fubara, he has a chance. He has a local government chairman. He has the assembly. That's why they want to impeach him. So it's just for the president to say, please back down. Leave Fubara. That is all. But influence is still very strong. You don't underestimate Wike. Wike can use different kinds of resources to nail you. Okay, take for instance, a week before, we heard a lot of so a governor did an interview with journalists. I was lambasting. A week after, a former governor asked questions. That, okay, you are making noise that you are tapping, you are this or that. Well, your people of your state don't even know you. How about this that you have done for so long? He said, no, I did not do this, but I did that. If they did not abuse him, or if there was no fight, we would have heard. If you want me to spill it or explain it, it's in the open. I will tell you how it is. It's a shame. You took money from federal government and you kept it in the bank for 2 years. And you say you're a good governor. You are not a patriotic citizen.
All right, now let's,
So you are telling me that such people should be honored. They are not honorable people now. So Wike himself is honorable for telling us that, look, my custody, this is how I did River State.
All right.
Is this how other people are doing their state? And the president also said it.
The room is
He said,
the room right now is quite tense.
The president
So we need to go.
said
We need to go.
Let me finish. The president also said it. He said, you are complaining in Nigeria. We have given them money in excess of their needs for the past 2 years. Have you asked them how have they spending it? The governor put money in the bank for 2 years for his own interest. And some people died in crisis that he's supposed to spend the money on. And some people lost their livelihood in wretched penury. And you say you're a patriot. You are nobody but a thief.
All right. Now but please, I beg your pardon. We don't allow vulgar language.
English language is thief.
No, you're free.
It's not abuse.
You are free to express yourself, but
I'm not abusing anybody.
not using vulgar language. Please.
That is not.
Please, I beg you. Can you please retract that statement?
Journalist.
He's not a thief. Is he?
I've just told you English language.
Please, can you please retract that statement?
How can you? Okay, let me explain it again. Maybe you don't understand what I'm saying.
No, I do. But
you do.
It remains the responsibility of those who are accusing to then provide evidence. Do you have evidence?
He has provided the evidence. Yeah. He has shown us where the money is.
Has he been indicted?
You don't get it.
Has he been indicted?
You wrote, let me explain to you further. You wrote that, I wrote to you, that there's a problem in my household and I need your help. And he said, what do you need? Please, can you give me 100 million? Let me finish, please. Let me finish.
I don't want to drag those too much.
Okay, I can't give you 100 million yet. Take 70 million out of the 100 million. And you say, thank you, go. I now go back to my home. I'm using your clothes, your money to go and invest in cocoa and storing it for increase in price. I did not do what I asked for. And you come suddenly to ask me for the money. What am I supposed to do? Oh, sorry, your money's in the warehouse? That's not right. That's not right.
Anyway, we'll be going for
There
a
are
break.
too much to use again if you want me to use it.
No.
So there's no reason to apologize.
You've made your point.
Reality.
It's also incumbent on you to be able to put the right words, even when it's within your right to express yourself. That's just what I'm trying to say. But of course,
we cannot do things anymore in Nigeria because there are a lot of things that we need to unfold for ourselves. There has to be discipline now.
Bro, you've made your point.
Thank you.
Let's go for a short break. And of course, the program continues shortly after we're back. Please do stay. All right, thank you so much for staying with us. And of course, we've been having Mr. Saheed Ajadi giving us his insightful analysis as regards the upcoming convention by the factional PDP. I'm talking about that of Wike's faction and the Seyi Makinde's faction. So is there any possibility that this would happen?
It's an implosion that is coming, whether you like it or not. Seyi must sustain the momentum for himself and his political dynasty. If he cannot do that before 2027, he's gone. He cannot be recognized anymore in Oyo State. Why? Because if PDP crashes now, he's gone. And so he must fight as well to maintain his hold. Or else, how does he want to confront APC or Accord in the next election? You have done 8 years, you cannot do governorship anymore, so it's free for everybody. So whichever party brings out anybody now, the party will put the strength behind the person. So you are going. If he brings a candidate now and the candidate is not popular, they will knock him off. So there are too many things against him right now. So for me, the interview he did was wrong at that time. It was a wrong timing. It was wrong words to use for people that has worked with you successfully and that you have dined with. You should never talk bad about people that you have shaken hands with, you've done deals with. Don't say bad things about them in public. That's what caused this whole quagmire. Why are you fighting Wike? What is your interest in PDP now that you are going to be fighting Wike? Wike that you and him used to checkmate others, an article, just 2 years ago. Okay, now, if Seyi is alone now, where is the strength? Where is the strength? Is it Bala Mohammed?
Now, what is your take as regards this conversation about Samuel Anyanwu succeeding Hope Uzodimma in the next election? Because there seems to be some brewing taking place under the ground or something that is happening, kind of. Do you see anything?
It's a standard feature everywhere. That's what I'm telling you. Tussle for power is not beans and plantain. Tussle for power, when you want to wrestle and say, I'm tougher than you, or Joshua wants to fight, I can beat you. It's not about beans and plantain.
So what plans do you think Wike has towards, stabilizing things? Because he's urging his factional members towards cohesion. So do you think he has any,
if he's strong
plans
as regards Wike will control PDP.
How does he intend to?
Because if he does the Congress in March and the court says that his own faction is the valid faction, I just analyzed something to you earlier.
Yeah.
The court cases. And if his own court case wins and he has a jurisdiction above Seyi's own, Seyi is state.
So can Seyi not
the
also...
federal has already given a verdict on what he had done before a state court said what he said.
So this issue about legal tussle can still even drag to the Supreme Court?
It is. I just analyzed it to you.
Yeah.
I said we are likely to see us going to appeal court because both parties, from what I see now, Seyi has more mistakes. Why? The High Court had already said what it said in the federal before your state court said what they also said. And under the law, which one has more weight? So those things will be analyzed by the bigger judges and they'll be able to decide. However, it's not looking good. Your friend that you have had secrets with, if you fight with that friend, all your secrets will be revealed. And that's a dirty war. You don't want that.
All right, now talk to us about the current fractional dispute going on. does it really put PDP in the right pedestal as we get closer towards, the 2020?
You are not listening to me at all. I can see that. I've told you clearly, PDP is going down. They are not in contention.
Why do you tend to hold this strong opinion
Because
that
I know.
PDP is going down in spite of so much effort being put together towards the upcoming convention?
I was a member of PDP. You're not listening to me at all. I was a member, bad card carrying like Obasanjo of PDP. So when the likes of Obasanjo and Atiku, they were holding sway and messing around. I was 32 years of age. I'm using the word messing around. Because if they did not mess around, Nigeria would not be in this shit now. They messed the opportunity up.
But you know very well. But you know very well that
finish.
there is no party without internal wrangling.
There is no way they will not have internal wrangling because they are not patriotic men.
Really?
Yes. Bring Obasanjo to a podcast with me, if you can try. Let us discuss Nigeria. I'm sure he will stone me before he gets out of that place. I have a lot of facts against all of them. It's not a storytelling. It is the reality. Tell me one single project. Obasanjo did for 8 years. 8 years. One project that you can point to in Nigeria. Military men that did not have any jurisdiction. They did projects for Nigeria that we can point to. Till today. Till tomorrow. This one has come now 2 years. He's telling me he wants to give us a road from Lagos to Calabar. Obasanjo said it's too expensive and it's just a waste of our resources. I laugh. So that's why you are there like that now. Because the intellect of Obasanjo is too shallow.
But yet, as good and laudable such projects are, some people will say it does not put bread on your table.
Because you don't understand economics. That's what I'm saying. You hold on. What you don't know, you don't know. You cannot add to it. It's only when they teach you that you can learn from it. And if you're not ready to listen or learn, how do you learn it? Obasanjo is an elderly person now. It's too late to learn anything.
Really?
Yes.
Except
you will scold him for his
efforts that he has made.
It's too late to learn anything, because if Obasanjo can grant an interview to BBC in 2013 or 14 in Madrid, Morocco, I was in Dubai, he was in Madrid, and I was looking at the BBC program live, 3 a.m. in the morning. And they were asking him, are you aware that this thing had been there in the Sahel for so long? He said, I know. And you had the report when you were the president. He said, yes. What did you do about it? He said, we know that private jets come into the Sahel and drop dollars and drop drugs, cocaine and all of that, and take care of the terrorists from Libya. We are aware that guns are coming. What did you do? He couldn't answer that question. Is that not a shame? A former general. What are you talking about? See, there is too much shame. If you want us to be highlighting the shame of the so-called elders, then they wanted to kill Ahmadu Bello. Ahmadu Bello knew that they were going to come and kill him 2 days before. He had the chance to fly out of Nigeria. He did not fly. Akintola stood at home. They did not go away. They did not run. They knew they were coming. Akintola disappeared. When they got to Yomi side, they came back to them and told them, if you want to kill me, do this. And they did. And that's why they got hit him.
All right. So,
Ahmadu Bello died when his wife, his first wife, said, it's not worth living anymore without you. And he hugged his husband and they shot both of them. Those are men. He's Obasanjo a man. He's a coward. You sold the whole property of Nigeria. Everything. On the guise of BP. That's why El-Rufai should shut up and keep quiet. Who was superintendent over BP? It was El-Rufai.
All right.
So we had a smelting plant, $3.2 billion invested in it by the military, mind you. Think those people are the right people to talk about.
You've actually made
we have a lot of work to do.
You've actually made your point as regards why you think, PDP might be dead.
He's going to die. Hold on. It's not that whether I think. Look, I use what I learned.
If you had an opportunity to say a word or two to Wike and Makinde, what would it be?
Let them go ahead. Fight. The fight
is it conflict
Nigeria.
Is it a conflict resolution mechanism?
There's no need to settle any conflict with them. Let them fight. We need them to fight.
But when they fight, as they say, when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. So is that
Nigeria is not going to suffer?
Really?
Grass will now start to grow because they will take their fight to another zone, and the grass will start to flourish. Have you ever seen saffron? Saffron does not grow in sunlight. Saffron grows in the dark. By very early 5:30 a.m., the farmers of saffron must go to saffron because by 9 a.m. when the sun is up, saffron is dead.
So when they
What are you talking about?
so when they both
that is
fight,
mysticism. They understand life.
so when they both
Forget all
fight,
these
what
things.
will be the outcome? When they
The
both fight, what will be the
advantage
outcome?
will be for Nigerians. We will be able to elect the proper people to govern in 2027. PDP is dead. Nothing good can come of PDP. I'm telling you the truth.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Mr. Saheed Ajadi. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure to have me. Thank you. A pleasure to have you too.
Well, that's our offering on the pulse this morning. And of course, we hope we've been able to keep you entertained, informed, and of course, glued with our program. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Joshua Okata. We'll come your way same time next week. Bye for now.